We've got news just in. Donald Trump has arrived back at the White House after he was speaking, I think, on the 250th anniversary of the American Navy. That was happening in Virginia. He's back at the White House. Obviously, what he says about Hamas and that peace deal at the moment is what we really want to know about. He made some remarks to the media as he arrived back.
When you saw those planes, the quality of the equipment and everything else, we rebuilt the Navy. Mostly in my first term, but we're doing it even beyond. So thank you all for being there. That was a great celebration today, right? Didn't you think? Okay.
Are you willing to set a deadline for Hamas to release the hostages?
Yeah, we're going to very quickly. We had some very good meetings. The countries of the world, a lot of the countries surrounding Israel, frankly, Muslim, Arab, and many others have had great meetings with Hamas, and it looks like it's working. So we'll wait for a little while, see how it all turns out.
When will the administration begin firing?
I think it'll work very quickly. I think it's going to go very quickly. The meetings seem to be very good. We'll find out. We'll let you know soon.
When will the administration begin?
The rebels in DRC, Democratic Republic of the Congo, they continue to kill
in
a
Congo?
lot of... Yeah, they continue to
Well, we're looking into that. We've heard
What
that.
about the ceasefire?
We're going to look at that, yeah.
Mr. President, you said there was an attack yesterday night in the Caribbean. Could you give more details about that?
My people will give you those details.
Mr. President, when will the administration begin firing federal employees during this government shutdown?
That's taking place right now, and it's all because of the Democrats. The Democrats are causing the loss of a lot of jobs with their, it's a shutdown. It's their shutdown, not our shutdown. It's their shutdown.
What agencies does
and I hope everybody likes what's the Presidential Walk of Fame. You know that? Have you seen it's beautiful, isn't it? Presidential Walk of Fame. Thank you very much. Again, congratulations to the Navy. They did a great job today. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so Trump wants Hamas to engage with him fast in terms of the finer details of this peace deal. Joining me now is former Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney. Mick, great to see you. What do you make of where this has all gone over the last couple of weeks and the post on Truth Social, now those comments from Trump?
Progress, but still a long way to go. The conditions that Hamas has put on this is going to create some difficulties, but at least the discussions have started. Keep in mind, they said they were willing to give back the hostages, which is fantastic. They didn't say a word about giving up their arms or turning over control of Gaza to international bodies and so forth. But it is progress, and they did respond, and that is a good thing. So Trump wants it to go very quickly. Trump wants it to be finished. But I just don't think that's how it works in the Middle East, Laura. And I think this is going to take a long time to work out, if it gets worked out at all.
Yeah, he wants this one off the books. But, you know, there hasn't been peace in this part of the world for many, many decades. Trump thinks he will be the one to do it. But I guess the question we can ask here is, what does, you know, a détente and success look like for, you know, a peace deal in these circumstances? Would it be the rebuilding of Gaza? How would that happen? And whether this kind of international peace board can actually hold?
There's so many more questions on top of those, but those are the right questions to begin with. If a ceasefire obviously has to come first. I understand that Israel is conducting operations as recently as either late last night or early this morning, my time. So they have to figure out a way to stop the hostilities. And then you have to start the very, very long process of rebuilding. I've talked to some folks in the military who think it could take many years just to remove the unexploded ordnance that's in the areas where there have been hostilities over the course of the last 2 years. Goodness, I guess it's 2 years on Tuesday that this war started with Hamas's attacks on Israel and so forth. It's going to be rough. It really is. There's the threshold considerations about how do you stop the war, and then there's the very long-term consideration about what does Gaza look like 10 and 20 and 50 years from now. Yeah,
it is a good question. Obviously, there are constraints put on Benjamin Netanyahu. This was some negotiating between two men that I think are pretty good at negotiating for their own interests. So to have that alignment in and of itself, I think is quite an achievement. When it comes to domestic politics on this singular issue, where is that at the moment? Because I know that we've spoken about in the past, Mick, how there are, you know, MAGA conservative commentators that are, you know, they're not pro-Israel.
There are. It divides both parties. It does. It's not as dramatic as I think maybe some of the international press make it out to be, but this is not one of those issues that falls neatly into Republican and Democrat camps. But if you ask about the domestic politics, you know, it sort of hurts me to say this, but Americans don't care that much about foreign policy. The world is a long way away from us. Maybe you folks know what that's like. And foreign policy is just, it doesn't drive the news cycle. We talk about it, we really do, but it doesn't change people's voting behavior. It doesn't change the outcome of elections and so forth. We are interested in it. We will follow it. Certainly that the chattering class does, certainly that members of government do, in both parties. They pay attention to it, but rank and file Americans probably don't spend nearly as much time about it as people think that they might otherwise.
One thing that might move the dial, these ICE raids, I think it's notable that there has been a concentration of raids in Chicago. And yes, you'd expect there to be tension between Trump and the mayor and the state governor. But this is blowing up deluxe at the moment.
It is. There's a judge in Oregon has, over the last 24 hours, has placed an injunction on Trump's efforts to deploy the federal guard, National Guard there. This is going to be a big issue. There's no question about it. It's not as big an issue as, say, that the government shutdown right now, but it is a big issue domestically. And tell me how you voted, and I'll probably tell you how you feel about the ICE raids. That being said, there's a small group of people in the middle who probably voted for Donald Trump who might think that this is a little heavy-handed, that we're all for kicking out illegal immigrants, we're all for kicking out criminals and so forth, but as is inevitable on an event of this size, they are taking in some American citizens, and that is causing a lot of people to sort of raise an eyebrow over the conduct of these particular policies.